So there's a follow-up question to the last question, which is, yes, but I've always heard that using a little bit of lemon or lime in the water all the time is good because it will help alkalize the system, it'll help eliminate mucus, and that's true. I mean, those things are true. However, if you think about it, many of the treatments available today, whether they're medical treatments or they're alternative medical treatments, will do to some extent what they promise to do. But remember, right, whether it's get rid of a headache or get rid of a stomach ache or get rid of the mucus. But the mucus isn't the problem. The mucus is a symptom of an underlying problem. So yeah, there's lots of things we could take to get rid of the mucus, but the problem is if we just keep getting rid of the mucus and never addressing why is the mucus there in the first place, we're not really changing anything. We might feel a little better, but we're not changing the underlying condition. It's the underlying condition that determines what level of health and vitality we ultimately function at or not. So we can address the symptoms, but needless to say, I hope it's obvious that in nature we probably wouldn't be drinking a lot of lemon and lime juice. I mean, how would we? There's no glasses. We're going to take a cup of water from the stream and then have someone else drop a couple drops of lime juice into it? Not likely. So, it's not really something that's so natural to us. I mean, it may well be one of those fruits that has a special relationship. What I mean is, there are some fruits that that are not really palatable to human beings. So I may have asked you this before, those of you with me here, but if you've never eaten an olive right off the tree, perfectly ripe, they're pretty nasty, in my opinion. And they're treated with vinegar or oil or salt in order to eliminate that nastiness. What one olive grower told me was toxicity. So they taste bad, but they're fruit. They taste bad when they're raw, but they're fruit. Eggplant, raw natural state. Ever try that? Yuck. It's really bitter. I used to do a series of food prep classes, and each class was a different cuisine. And I would do a Middle Eastern night. Well, I devised a baba ganoush recipe, raw eggplant. It involved soaking the eggplant, cutting it up and soaking it in apple juice all day. Otherwise, it was just too bitter to eat. Okay, now when you cook it, you break whatever it is, the toxins. There's some substance, some chemical inside eggplant that gives this bitter taste. You break that down by cooking. But just because it's fruit doesn't mean that we should eat it. In fact, the vast majority of things on the planet that we could eat raw, we're better off not eating at all, because they're not necessarily designed for our bodies, right? So this is one of those things that, there are a lot of people out there, a lot of raw books say, if it's raw, you can eat it. Well, yeah, maybe. What they ought to say is, I think the corollary is true, right? If it's cooked, don't eat it. That's true, but that doesn't mean anything raw is edible. Obviously, most of the plants out there in the forest are actually poisonous to us. So there are some fruits that may be poisonous to us as well. That's developed over time because some species, it's just a different strategy, right? The whole point of fruit is to get the seeds into the ground. That's why the tree, the plant, puts all this energy into making fruit, to encourage some other critter to come along, consume the fruit, leave the seeds someplace else where they might grow, because they can't grow under the tree. They need sunlight, and they need water, and they need nutrients, and they're going to have a hard time competing with the mature tree for those things. So that's the whole point of fruit. But some plants evolve to have a relationship with particular pollinators, or in this case, seed spreaders. So it may well be that there are some animals that have evolved to metabolize the poisons in olives or eggplant. And that benefits the plant because that tree knows that because that animal, that species, no longer has any competition for the food, they're going to be there every year. The tree has a guarantee of getting its seed spread because there's a whole species that's going to say, let's go and make sure we get those olives because we don't have any competition. See, they can go to other trees, but they have a lot of competition for everything else. There's a lot of species that are going for the fruits that are not toxic.